For too long, we've turned a blind eye to the heart-wrenching cruelty inflicted upon nature's most vulnerable. How can we stand by while innocent creatures suffer in silence, trapped by human neglect and apathy? This isn't just a story, it's a scandal that exposes our collective failure to protect the wild. Aren't you tired of the indifference that allows such inhumanity to persist? One crisp morning, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in soft hues of pink and gold, Alex strolled around his secluded cottage nestled deep within the crimson woods. The gentle melody of chirping birds and the rustle of leaves in the mild breeze created a serene symphony, promising another peaceful day away from the chaos of the world. However, amid this idyllic tranquility, an unexpected sound shattered the calm, a heart-wrenching, piercing howl that echoed through the dense forest. Startled, Alex's heart pounded as he paused in his tracks. That eerie cry seemed to carry a deep sorrow, tugging at the very fibers of his soul. Compelled by both concern and an instinctual need to help, he carefully set aside his morning routine and ventured toward the source of the distressing sound. The forest, usually so welcoming and familiar, now seemed ominous and full of hidden perils as he moved silently among the towering, shadowed trees. After navigating through a labyrinth of thick underbrush, Alex emerged into a small clearing. There, beneath a canopy of ancient pines, he found a heart-wrenching sight, a majestic wolf ensnared in a cruel, iron trap. The animal's powerful form was clearly diminished, its eyes, once full of wild spirit, now reflected deep exhaustion and despair. It was evident that this was not just any wolf, it was a mother, for even in her weakened state, hints of nurturing lingered in the gentle way she held herself. Her fur, matted and marked by the ordeal, glistened with tears of frustration and pain, and the trap's cold grip constricted her injured leg. Overwhelmed by a surge of compassion and determination, Alex approached with utmost caution. He understood all too well the risks of drawing near to a wild creature in distress, yet the desperate look in her eyes left him no choice. Slowly, he reached out, speaking softly in an effort to soothe her terror. His voice, tender and earnest, was a stark contrast to the harsh reality of the trap's clutches. He knelt beside the suffering animal and gently examined her injured leg. The sight of the iron jaws biting into her flesh ignited a burning resolve within him. Realizing that her struggle was not only for her own life but also for the lives of unseen cubs waiting for her, Alex knew he had to act quickly. Summoning all his courage, he set about trying to pry the stubborn trap open. With each deliberate motion, his hands trembled, both from the cold and the weight of the responsibility that now rested upon him. After several tense minutes and a few forceful strikes with a sturdy rock, the trap finally released its hold. The wolf let out a weary, almost inaudible sigh as the shackles fell away, her eyes meeting Alex's with a mix of gratitude and lingering pain. Though too weak to stand on her own, she allowed him to gently lift her, promising silently that her cubs, hidden somewhere in the depths of the forest, were waiting. After freeing her from the clutches of the iron trap, Alex cradled the weakened wolf in his arms, feeling both the chill of the early morning air and the palpable warmth of compassion within. Determined to offer sanctuary, he carefully lifted the mother wolf, whose soft, pained eyes met his with a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. With slow, deliberate steps, Alex began the arduous journey back to his secluded cabin nestled deep within the crimson woods. Every footstep resonated with purpose as he navigated through the dense forest. The crisp morning air, now imbued with the promise of a new day, contrasted sharply with the harsh ordeal the wolf had endured. The trees, cloaked in a vibrant array of autumn hues, whispered encouragement as Alex made his way through winding paths. His heart pounded with concern, but his resolve never wavered. He knew that the wolf's suffering was not hers alone, there was a greater urgency at hand. Upon reaching his modest cabin, Alex gently laid the mother wolf on a makeshift bed of warm blankets beside a crackling fire. The cabin, a small haven of light amid the wild expanse, exuded comfort and care. With practiced hands, he retrieved his medical supplies from a wooden chest and began the tender work of cleaning the wolf's wounds. Each careful stroke and soft word eased the tension in the air, allowing the injured animal to relax ever so slightly. Alex's compassionate ministrations seemed to bridge the gap between two very different worlds, creating a fragile bond based on mutual need. Yet, even as he soothed the mother wolf's pain, Alex's thoughts turned to the silent, unseen lives that depended on her. He recalled the telltale signs from earlier, the swell in her belly and the lingering scent that hinted at the presence of her young cubs. Without delay, Alex donned a weathered jacket and stepped back into the crisp forest air, following a faint trail that led deeper into the heart of the crimson woods. The forest, bathed in the gentle glow of late morning light, held its breath as Alex carefully searched for the hidden den. After a measured trek along a narrow, winding path, he discovered a small, camouflaged entrance beneath a cluster of fallen branches and moss. Inside, nestled in a shallow burrow, were several fragile cubs, their wide eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and fear. Their small bodies trembled, a stark reminder of the perils they had narrowly escaped. With utmost delicacy, Alex coaxed the cubs out of their hiding place, murmuring soft reassurances that blended with the rustling of the leaves. One by one, he gathered them, wrapping them in extra layers of warmth before carefully transporting them back to the safety of his cabin. As the cubs emerged into the light, they instinctively inched closer to the recovering mother, their soft whimpers a tender melody of reunion. Inside the cabin, the scene was nothing short of miraculous. The mother wolf, still weak but visibly relieved, allowed her cubs to nestle by her side. Alex, watching from a respectful distance, felt his heart swell with a bittersweet mix of joy and melancholy. He had bridged the gap between human kindness and the raw, untamed spirit of nature, a moment where hope and healing intertwined. Over the following days, the cabin in the Crimson Woods transformed into a quiet sanctuary where nature and humanity converged in a delicate dance of healing. Each morning, as soft rays of sunlight filtered through the frost-kissed windows, Alex would gently wake the sleeping wolf family. The mother wolf, still fragile but steadily regaining her strength, lay curled protectively over her cubs. Their tender eyes, wide with cautious wonder, spoke of a newfound trust in the human who had rescued them. Alex devoted his days to their care, alternating between tending to the wounded mother and nurturing the playful energy of the cubs. He prepared nourishing meals, warm bowls of meat broth for the wolf and tender morsels for the little ones. As he sat quietly by the small wooden table in his modest kitchen, he couldn't help but marvel at the resilience of life. The soft sounds of the wolves mingled with the crackling of the fireplace, creating a soothing symphony that eased the lingering remnants of the storm outside. Outside the cabin, the forest seemed to exhale in relief. The Crimson Woods, with its ancient pines and softly rustling leaves, bore witness to the healing that was unfolding within its heart. Alex took long walks through the forest, gathering herbs that could aid in soothing pain and strengthen the bond between him and the wild. With each journey, he felt the forest welcoming him as one of its own, a silent acknowledgement of the compassion he had shown. One crisp afternoon, as the mother wolf lay resting with her cubs huddled near her, a subtle change stirred in the air. In the distance, shadows began to move among the trees. It wasn't long before a small group of wolves emerged, a pack that had roamed the woods long before Alex's arrival. Their eyes, reflective and watchful, surveyed the scene with a mix of curiosity and ancient understanding. For a moment, time seemed to still. The pack's leader, a majestic silver-furred wolf with eyes that held the wisdom of the wild, stepped forward. There was no aggression, only a silent dialogue of acknowledgement. The mother wolf, in response, lifted her head and let out a low, resonant sound. It was a call not of farewell, but of reunion. The pack slowly encircled the cabin, a living tapestry of wild spirits converging in the warmth of human kindness. Alex watched from a respectful distance, his heart swelling with bittersweet emotion. He had given them a temporary haven, a bridge to recovery, and now the wild was calling them back. The wolves, sensing his gentle spirit, lingered a while longer. In those moments, Alex felt an overwhelming connection, a shared understanding that some bonds, though forged in crisis, transcend the confines of captivity. As dusk fell and the pack gradually receded into the forest's embrace, Alex sat by the fire with the mother wolf and her cubs nestled close. He understood that while their paths would soon diverge, the memory of this fragile alliance would endure, a testament to the transformative power of empathy and the eternal whisper of the wild. As the days turned into weeks, the time came for the inevitable farewell. The once vibrant energy within the cabin began to settle into a quiet, reflective calm. The mother wolf, now steadily regaining her strength through Alex's unwavering care, looked healthier and more alert. Her cubs, playful yet cautious, had grown stronger, their eyes shining with the untamed spirit of the wild. Yet, as the season progressed and the crisp air deepened, an unmistakable call from the wilderness echoed through the crimson woods. One crisp morning, as the first light of dawn broke through the towering pines, a gentle rustle outside signaled the return of the wild pack. The majestic silver-furred leader reappeared at the edge of the clearing, his eyes filled with ancient wisdom and quiet acknowledgement. In that moment, it became clear to Alex that the time had come for the wolf family to embrace their true home once again. With a heavy heart tempered by profound gratitude, Alex gathered the mother wolf and her cubs close. Standing in the soft glow of the rising sun, he spoke softly, his voice trembling with emotion. "You belong to the wild, to these woods," he whispered, the words carrying both a blessing and a farewell. The mother wolf, understanding the silent message, nuzzled him gently, a final, tender gesture of thanks. The pack moved slowly forward, each step measured as they rejoined the familiar embrace of the forest. The cubs, still clinging to the warmth of Alex's care, hesitated for a moment before darting into the underbrush, their playful yips mingling with the rustling leaves. As the mother wolf took her place beside her pack, she cast one last, lingering glance toward Alex, a look filled with both sorrow and a promise of enduring connection. In the quiet aftermath, Alex remained on the porch of his cabin, watching the silhouettes of the wolves merge with the sprawling forest. The crimson woods, once a realm of solitude, now shimmered with memories of a bond that transcended the boundaries of human and animal. The echoes of that fateful rescue, the shared moments of healing and tenderness, would forever resonate within him. He knew that even as the wolf family reclaimed their place in the wild, the lessons of compassion, courage, and interconnectedness would continue to shape his life. The act of saving those precious lives had not only altered their destiny but had also transformed his understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. In the soft morning light, as the forest resumed its ancient rhythm, Alex felt an overwhelming sense of peace. Though the parting was bittersweet, he understood that their shared journey was a reminder of the profound impact one compassionate act can have. The spirit of the Crimson Woods had been enriched by their encounter, and the memory of that wild family would forever be a beacon of hope, inspiring him to nurture the fragile ties that bind us all. In closing, let this story remind you that every act of kindness creates ripples of hope throughout the world. Our lives are interconnected, just as the forest and its creatures share an unbreakable bond, so too do our hearts, when we choose to care. When we stand together and extend our hand to those in need, we not only change their lives but also transform our own. This tale of rescue and reconciliation isn't merely about saving a life, it's about recognizing that love and compassion can heal even the deepest wounds. Each gentle gesture, every word of encouragement, and every moment of empathy adds to the tapestry of our shared humanity. By embracing the vulnerable and offering a beacon of warmth in the darkest times, we affirm that love is the most powerful force in the universe. Thank you for joining us on this journey of healing and connection. Let the memory of this story inspire you to nurture kindness wherever you go, to bridge divides with understanding, and to always believe that your smallest acts of care matter. Together, we can make the world a gentler, more loving place, one heart at a time. If this story touched your heart, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales. Your support fuels our mission to spread hope and compassion every day. Subscribe now and become part of our community of changemakers. Thank you, and until next time, keep shining your light.